that won't require too much effort. So to start with, I'll just make a brief presentation on the subject and more or less setting the overview, and then we'll have the presentations by each of the speakers, followed by an open question and answer session. So first of all, a warm welcome. I think the subject of health insurance is a topic that is close to the hearts of many of us, and also one of the areas where technology adoption in the health sector has been amongst the fastest in the health sector. So, the discussion we'll have, I'll probably take the next 10 minutes or so giving an overview of the issues and challenges and some of the opportunities that lie ahead of us in the space of ICT adoption in the cashless claims space in health insurance and in the broader health insurance space within which claims lie. This is not moving. Can someone come from the technical side? Okay, fine, happen. Thank you. So, as I started by saying, ICT, information and communication technology, is being seen as the game changer for both the government and private health insurance space by addressing two critical challenges. One challenge is of reducing transaction costs. So technology is enabling faster use of processes which are e-enabled, and so enrollment, distribution, communication, claim processing all happens at a pace and cost unimagined earlier. And the second big transformation there is in its ability to collect information and use it wisely. So improving internal controls and the information environment for health insurance, reducing fraud and leakages, and improving product design, be it a private health insurance product or a product coming from a government health insurance program. So that's the space. These are the two main game-changing areas where ICT is bringing about a change. So most developments in the IT space for Indian health insurance actually took place in the last decade. The arrival of private insurers and third-party administrators, which happened as recently as 2001, led to investments in claim processing systems, IT systems that could help process and also help improve the business intelligence environment and create better management information. There was an IRDA data working group in 2004, which actually created standards for data and required some electronic data to be submitted for each of the insurance policies, each of the members, and each of the claims to IRDA in a central repository. And it required them to use ICD-10 coding for the diagnosis as early as 2004. This is as much as 5 years before the United States adopted ICD-10. So we really at that time did things much ahead of the curve, trying to catch up on our late progress and late commencement of work in ICT. So at that time, the Tariff Advisory Committee, which was then has been replaced more recently by the Insurance Information Bureau of India, created standardization and compilation of health insurance data, particularly claims data, across the industry. This data repository now has a couple of 100 million of records, I imagine, since 2004. So the arrival of this data repository and followed by some mass government health insurance schemes, and we'll have the benefit of hearing from two people who really lead such programs in the states of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, and between them cover more than 100 million people for tertiary care and higher cost ailments. So these mass government health insurance schemes brought a lot of new expectations in being able to deliver services at a very low cost, in being able to reach out to the rural areas, in being able to address the total cost of health insurance being less than $5 or $10 per family, and being able to not only manage the actual claim cost but also keep transaction costs very low to be able to meet these costs. Some of the lowest cost implementation of health insurance globally has happened. So it has brought new expectations and new capabilities. We saw smart cards which enable offline authorizations. We saw paperless claim submissions, which both these programs have. We saw use of virtual private networks for communication of data. We saw closed user groups in terms of communication and being able to exchange information over voice. We saw an expectation of 100% cashless authorization. In the private health insurance space, even today we struggle with 50-60% cashless and the rest being authorized, not being cashless but being reimbursement mode. But the government programs were, these new generation government programs are all in fully cashless mode right from the beginning. And then this is just the beginning. There were also experiments with mobile phone payments, with handheld devices, and in the private sector with prepaid insurance kits, with prepaid pharmacy cards, with e-vouchers for physician consultations. All this has already been tried. Some of this is not that well known, but it has already been tried in the Indian context. So, if you see some of the illustrations of how Indian health insurance has embraced IT in terms of distribution, there have been web-based platforms to distribute, there has been mobile technology used to distribute, indeed mobile wallets being used to make payments. In terms of enrollment and identification of the users, there have been substantial use, and I'm talking about numbers like 35 million families have a card, a smart card each every year in RSBY. So smart cards with offline data storage on a chip, use of biometrics, widespread, whether on the card or at the back end, a lot of offline and online tools for identification and entitlement verification. So this has been the illustration of use in the enrollment front. In terms of data compilation and analytics, all this claims data has been used to automate processing of claims using business intelligence tools, which also leads to fraud control and improved management. A lot of product design improvements, a lot of innovation in terms of what can be done, and interim on the fly changes in programs because of data and information coming in. A lot of processes have been automated, whether it is connectivity between the different stakeholders, between the providers and the insurer or the TPA, or even with the beneficiary. Several web-enabled applications in place, and electronic payments is no longer an exception but often the norm in most of these cases. So the last field I'll illustrate is customer service, using this for customer relationship management, client communication, and finally the new frontier where over the last 2-3 years there has been a working group with Ministry of Health and FICCI, and more recently there was a joint working group with the Department of Health and the Department of Information Technology, trying to think about an electronic health records architecture for the country, and trying to think about what should be the standards for communication and privacy when we move to a regime of electronic health records. I'll just illustrate some of these standardization initiatives that have happened in the health insurance industry. So from standard treatment guidelines to standard pre-authorization and claim forms to standard definitions, using common hospital IDs, standard billing codes, all this has been already tried, delivered, and has recently found place in the IRDA guidelines on health insurance that were issued earlier this year in 2013. So this work has been ongoing for the last 5 years, and the expected spin-off of all this standardization is to minimize confusion, enhance comparability, ensure transparency and fair practices, and finally to yield data for better use of information and for the development of the sector. I'll come to an illustration now. This was the private health insurance space. I'll come to an illustration from the government health insurance schemes space. There's a very visible encouraging trend to adopt or strengthen data analytics across all schemes. There are several prominent innovations. I already mentioned these smart cards, which actually have a very sophisticated security feature using a dual authorization with biometrics before the chip can be written upon, and verification, batch transfer of transaction data to enable areas with poor connectivity to be able to service health insurance claims in a fully cashless manner. Similarly, if you look at Arogyasri or the Chief Minister's comprehensive health insurance scheme in Tamil Nadu, they are able to use paperless claim processing. Arogyasri uses digital signatures enabled user IDs, which tracks what each person is able to do and what their authorizations are, and with a comprehensive web-enabled MIS that all the stakeholders use. Tamil Nadu also uses webcam-based monitoring of field functionaries. So you can actually see what people are doing on the screen because there's a webcam looking on their face, and so the remotely distributed people do not have a supervisor in situ, so you can see what they are doing just using a randomly selected application which tells where people are in terms of their presence opposite the webcam. Several schemes are planning other tools to strengthen their information systems and data analytics, and one example is yet another health insurance program of the government of Karnataka called Vajpayee Arogyasri. However, the test of the pudding will be in its effective use to inform the management. So not just in terms of collecting this data and authorizing the process and enabling the process to be smoother, but the real essence and real advantage of this will lie when this is used to inform the management and to address the current challenges that the sector faces. So just a summary of current practices. I've already mentioned most of these. I'll not go on this slide, but just to illustrate that schemes as the government-sponsored health insurance programs, right from RSBY, Tamil Nadu, Employee State Insurance Scheme, Karnataka, CGHS and Andhra Pradesh have all different levels of application of ICT in their programs and are using different technologies to be able to address their challenges that they're facing and to be able to smoothen their transaction experience. I'll just highlight one more use which is common to both public and private insurance programs, which is being able to use ICT to address misutilization and fraud in health insurance claims. A fraud in health insurance claims is something that affects every stakeholder. It leads to more payout from the insurer, be that insurer private or be that insurer the government. It does lead to more payout from the insurer, but it also leads to two more spin-off effects. It leads to an increasing premium for the product, and it also leads to loss of confidence in the health insurance space. And both these factors are something that we would like to wean off from the system, and for that using ICT would be key to the future. So the misutilization or fraud takes multiple forms: misrepresentation, the wrong person is taking the benefit; claims submitted by non-existing hospitals or for services not rendered; billing for higher level of services, or charging the patients when they should not have charged the patients, and so on. And data analytics makes claim control systems possible along several domains, including keeping a vigil on the claim data, automated as well as superimposed reviews of the transactions, and finally the system generate leads to be able to follow up with physical verification. Finally, this can also be a loop from grievance and feedback systems that can help in addressing this challenge. So my last slide, the challenges that we together need to address in wider adoption of information and communication technologies in health insurance: the multiplicity of forms and formats. If the forms are not standard, if the formats are too many, the vendors for hospitals and the vendors for different stakeholders will not be able to choose what exactly to provide, and unless this is standardized, it will create a lot of confusion in the system and delays data sharing and data exchange. Sharing of data between the different players, unless the different insurers, for example, collaborate to share their data, they will not be able to do much justice to either fraud control or to data analytics. Switching from legacy systems requires handling complex manpower, training and awareness issues. Lack of standards for electronic health records. This could change soon, but this affects integration with hospital information systems, and those who are developing hospital information systems do not really know whether these standards will change overnight. So giving certainty on those standards and creating standards for India will be important. Support from health professionals, doctors, nurses. Unless we make smart tools or smart software programs that reduce and not increase their burden, that we will not be able to succeed in getting them to use IT systems at their end, and we cannot really do it otherwise. We cannot really expect much way otherwise. And I think the Tamil Nadu experience of HMIS has much to tell us on this. The connectivity issues at provider level are another issue, especially in remote areas, especially we're talking about clinics in suburban and semi-urban areas. This is changing fast and this will keep changing, but this continues to be an issue in many areas of the country. And finally, taking the effort to design these well. These ICT applications need time, need patience, and need strong foundations. If that effort is not taken, then the project is much more likely to fail. And so this patience and taking the effort to design well is something that we need to really drive home and drive in. So on that note, I will close now. So, much of the information that I mentioned comes from these two recent World Bank publications that I co-authored, that are listed on the screen, along with the link where these can be downloaded from. Thank you very much, and I would now invite Dr. Selva Vinayagam to speak on Tamil Nadu.